Hello guys and welcome back to the Profit Madness channel. There's a lot to talk about today. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like this type of content. Now let's get straight into the USD dominance charts. So as you guys can see, my levels that I gave you guys in yesterday's video, which is the reason why you should be subscribing to this channel, is actually out as a resistance. And by doing so, you add a reason to go long back into the market. So now, as long as the 8.12% level still acts as a resistance on the EST dominance chart, we are looking for support to come back in at approximately 7.63 and 7%. Now, from here, two things could potentially happen. Or one is either we move back up, or we actually end up breaking 7.63 and 7, and we actually start to have a decent move back up in the crypto market. So make sure to watch this level, because once we break this particular bullish trend line, we will be able to see a decent rally back up. Okay, I also have another USDT dominance chart, which is this one right here. So here, we're gonna play a little more conservative. Here we want to see we want to see the USD dominance chart breaking below 7.45%. Okay, so until you see the USD dominance chart within this area, while it's still above, okay, and holding this area as a support, there is still the chance that we could go back and retest this bearish trending channel, if not even test this trend right here from which we have broken from. Okay, either way, regardless of whether we have topped for now right here, or we still have to do this move to the upside, regardless of that, I do believe that we will see an important change in trend for the altcoins. So I'm very excited to see altcoins starting to outperform Bitcoin, and I'm sure that we will see more of that going forward in this particular year. So the situation with the dominance chart is as follows. You gotta wait for us to actually break some decent levels. 7.45 and 8, that would be your more conservative level. 7.63, which is pretty much almost in the same exact area, is another level that you want to, of course, see break. But if you see weekly candle closures, especially below 7.45%, I think that's a pretty good indication that we're going to go between 6.59 and 6.47. This will be levels where you may potentially consider to take some profit. Okay, take some profits on some longs, because that could potentially also create a reversal back up. We don't know of which magnitude just yet, but just be mindful about those current levels right here. Okay, so moving on, we got a total 3 minus Solana and BNB. So far, still holding this trend line. As long as we are above 560 billion, I think that there's a very good chance that we could go back and revisit all-time highs very quickly. I think that most people will not expect this, but as this projection suggests, just be careful, because we may see something else happening where we trade up in this region that could potentially, okay, break us back down. So just be mindful about it. But that's something for the future. Moving on, we got a total two. As long as we are above 907 billion, it is still doing good, but then again, you're also below 972 billion. So to me personally, based on this particular chart, I have a few of those. um, I don't see any reasons to be entering a trade right now based on this chart alone, but then again, I'll show you guys more of these charts. If you guys want to see my portfolio, my coins, how much I've invested in each coin, my entry prices, and you want to get all of my trades and exit signals, then check out the link down below. You can subscribe to our premium group. This is going to be the best deal that you can get right now. The prices will go up very soon. We want to lock in as many people as possible before the old season starts, because once the old season starts, guys, it will be too late and it will be time to sell, not to buy. So make sure to join Profit Magnets as soon as possible. Get in, secure your spot, and make this your life-changing cycle. So let's move on to the contrarian layout. We got a total one chart right here. Then again, look, so you don't really have confirmations of a breakout about to happen. Okay, that's the reality of it. So unless you add other metrics to understand if it's a good time to long or not, based on what I'm seeing so far, we don't really have enough information just yet. Okay. You want to see us above $2.35 trillion this particular week for us to actually assume that we will go higher. Otherwise, just understand that your level of support is still 2.13 trillion. Now, if you lose that, okay, we will revisit the trend line from C19. Okay, it's not a bad sign because yes, we will be going lower, but at the same time, we'll be going to a trend line for the third time. Okay, which is very important to note, which we in which we have always had a significant uptrend from. Okay, so that's kind of why I'm still expecting us to go down there over the course of a few months from now. That doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot see any upside before then. Okay, just be mindful about it because this is still something that some charts, as you guys will see in a second, um, are still pointing to. For example, one of those will be the total two chart right here, because we are still below 971 billion, but we are above 875 billion. Okay, so that trailing from C19, okay, is a lower one, and that one is currently placed at $804 billion. So technically speaking, okay, we got very close to it, but we didn't hit it. That's why I'm saying I think that because of a lot of these charts have this trend line almost within reach, I would expect us to do it. If it doesn't happen right now, which in my opinion it doesn't necessarily have to, I think that we have been quite extended to the downside for now. We could potentially do that at some point in the future. So just be mindful about it. Okay, this is just a projection. Doesn't mean that we have to make a new all-time high on the total two. We could very well do so. Okay, but we may also stop somewhere around here. Either way, what I'm expecting to see overall, and that's kind of the obvious thing by now, I hope, is that I'm expecting to see a decent uptrend begin very very soon. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm shifting my attention to. You guys can also check my trades on Involio. You just go to involio.com/Alex Trades, and that's where you are able to go ahead and follow me. You can see my posts, you can see my portfolios, my open trades, and whatnot. Okay, that's where you want to do it. Otherwise, if you want, you can also join us in the Discord right here. You got your link. You will also find one in the description below. Moving on, let's go to the total three. So, total three. Once again, another chart that, in my opinion, has to give something very soon. And by that, what I mean is that we need to break out of this range in which we're currently in. So if we're going to be breaking above, as of this week, we are looking at a breakout above 745 billion. Now, if we were to fall, okay, and I'm just gonna cover this because I think it's worth entertaining this still. We have this trend line from C19 that is currently pointing down to $504 billion. Okay. Another important thing that I would like to mention is the presence of this particular trend line right here. So the reason why this is important is because sometimes you're able to understand when things are likely to happen. For example, here with this trend line and this one right here, we got a crossover, a perfect crossover of these two trend lines happening on the week of the 25th of May. Okay, so that's something that you may want to keep in your mind as we go forward. Because I also said it on Involio, I also said it on the Discord. I think that we will see. Let me see if I can find it quickly. There you go. I think that we will go back up very soon, but after April, there is going to be, in my personal opinion, some sort of event that we gotta be careful about. You also got the narrative selling me and go away. Perhaps we will see it at play this time around. Who knows? I'm just giving you guys what I see on the charts, okay? And the charts are still pointing towards this trend line. Again, while it's not necessarily a time to be bearish at this moment, it is still something that you may want to keep in your mind at this present moment in time. Moving on, we got the orders chart. Then again, you find another chart pointing to this particular trend line. And I hate to repeat myself quite a lot over these videos because I always speak about this trend line, but it's because it's so close within reach. And usually what the market does, even when you're trading, right, usually what the market does is before it goes to your final TP, the market tends to go against you, because by then what happens is people trail their stop losses, or people jump in late to the trend. So what the market does is that it changes direction, makes you doubt it, and then when you don't really expect it, it goes and delivers the final blow um, to your take profit. So then again, look, sentiment is extremely bad right now. To me, as much as if we were, well, if we have to do it, I would love us to do it as soon as possible and get it over with. But I also understand the psychological effect of doing it now versus doing it later, right? A lot of people are not really keeping their hopes up right now with crypto. It would be making a lot of sense to me in the mind of the market maker to actually go and take out stops to the upside, start to get some longs in, and once you get the longs, you have more liquidity to recover to the downside. So we are approaching a very critical time, in my opinion. I think that this year will be quite chaotic a little bit, unless you're able to kind of navigate what is currently happening and understand where you should be looking up to. um I think that what happens in between here and then, that's kind of where you could get shaken out and you could start to look at the at things in the wrong manner. So just be mindful about it. Okay, I'm giving you guys the levels. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, again, it's in a range at this moment. Um, we want to see a breakout happening above 77.6 approximately as of this week. Yeah. But to the downside, we have support at 54.4. Of course, this is not is a trend line pointing up. So the more time passes, the higher this goes. So at this moment, it's currently pointing to 54.4. But your resistance is at 77.6. So if we were to move back up, it's very likely that we will revisit these levels before we were to before we continue to the downside. Then it's not just this level. We also have another. So be mindful, okay? Moving on to Solana. So Solana has actually bounced from the area that I gave you guys some videos ago. Okay, so far that level has actually held us support as expected. We now are preparing to see a move back up for Solana towards $123. Okay, that would be a good level to take profit at. That would be the middle line of this parallel channel that symbolizes equilibrium. We also broke below it without a proper retest, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you kind of retested it, but it's not really on the dot. Sometimes the market goes back and does that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for at this moment in time. Okay. Moving on, I'm going to show you guys another Bitcoin chart. And this is where I have my long because I'm currently in a slight profit. I was worrying about even yesterday's video, if we were to have gone lower, okay, which we didn't have to do. Just to be clear, we didn't have to do it because even yesterday I said that what matters the most at this moment is the USD dominance chart. Okay, if you would have broken above this trend line right here that I'm going to show you guys in a second here, this red trend line right here, upon the retest of it, you can see that we have actually tested this for pretty much 5 days straight, and it has always acted as a resistance. If we would have broken above it, then yeah, we would have most likely gone ahead and seen 64.2 to 61.6 minimum, in my opinion. But because we have actually still found resistance here, now you're about to see, in my opinion, a reversal back to the upside. You know, they were the market maker was giving people the chance to close their shorts, people started instead going into shorts at this moment, or holding their trades. I think that we are going to see shorters pay the price very, very soon, in my opinion. So that's why I'm long. Looking at higher levels to flip back short, but at this moment I am long. Okay, moving on. Bitcoin dominance still not doing much. This is a good signal because once we start to see the market moving back up, okay, you will start to see altcoins outperforming because the Bitcoin dominance is pretty much going sideways at this moment. And once it starts to drop, that's where I think we will start to see that old season that everybody was waiting for. Ethereum, so still in this long, still holding my bullish breakers, not really moving at this moment. I think that this situation will change very soon. My first target is 2,476. If we were to go down, we're looking at $1,600. This is that C19 trend line. So to me, it's just another reason to open another long. Okay, I'm in swing longs, guys. I'm looking for new all-time highs. Okay, and of course, Ethereum, it's an altcoin, so I'm very bullish on altcoins. I'm not speaking about new Bitcoin all-time highs. Okay, pay attention to that because it's very telling as to what I think is going to happen. Moving on, we got a total three minus Solana, BNB, XRP, USDT, and USDC. Again, we didn't go as low to fulfill this region down here that I was looking at around 192, 191. Just making sure that it's aligned. Well, now it's more like 193, 192, but you guys get the point. Okay, that's kind of the area that I was looking for. We didn't hit it. We don't have to hit it at this moment. Okay, we could actually get back into this area at a later date, somewhere around this region, in my opinion. We may have also bottomed. Okay, it is possible because we have had this wick into my area, even though we didn't necessarily hit this particular trend right here. Now, one thing that I must say is that this is a custom chart. Okay, custom charts don't necessarily have to follow everything by like the orders. For example, this chart did not have any data until after C19. So this trend line that I have drawn before on the order charts may not necessarily have an equal representation on this particular chart. So that's something that you kind of want to pay attention to. So it could have been also something more like this, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how this channel could potentially also be placed. Let me actually do something like this. Extend the trend line to the right, okay? And if we look at it this way, what do you notice? That the wick already happened on this trend line, and the last week's candle had a wick to this trend right here, which held as support. Okay, so when I look at things like this, it could also be indicative, okay, that we may have already bottomed, okay, with this chart right here at least, which is a custom chart. I taught you guys how to do this particular chart on my YouTube channel from scratch. Okay, so you guys can go and see if I've changed anything or not. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you guys for YouTube. Okay, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.